Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an episode of Coffee Break with Card, La Hora del Cafecito's new sister show. Per our attendance request, all of our audiences, they have asked us to please translate our show in Spanish into our English speaking show. So here we are, second episode. So come on in. Can you say yeah? This is how we are going to be able to say hello to you. And we're also going to ask that if you have some memes, coffee memes, some gifts about coffee, please share with us. We would love to say hello to you, but also to look through your memes and your gifts so we can pick our favorite one at the end of the show. So come on in, stay with us. We're going to spill the beans on our topic of the day. And today's topic is related to special needs trust. So welcome to our table. Come on in, join us. We have a lot to say to you today. Okay. Like I said, today's program is related to special needs trust. What is it? Is it important? Why is it important? So come on in. It will help us to learn more about it. Today's program is the first of a series of two. Okay. Thank you so much. But let's start out by introducing you to our coffee break hostesses. As I already mentioned, my name is Lourdes Quiñones. I am a consultant for the elementary age group and CARD, in addition to being a physical therapist and a special education teacher. I am here with my co-hostesses, Jasmine Castellano. Buenos dias, Jasmine.
Buenos dias, Lourdes. Good morning, everyone.
I'm also here with Olivia Mcdonald. Good morning, Olivia.
Good morning, Lourdes.
Maggie Aldana. Buenos dias, Maggie.
Good morning, Lourdes.
And Ima Camposano. Good morning, Ima.
Good morning.
Jasmine Castellano is an excellent professional in the field of mental health. She is a CARD consultant assigned to the group of young constituents from middle school all the way to young adults. And she is the mother of three, one of whom is diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Jasmine.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Olivia Mcdonald is a CARD consultant assigned to the early age group of constituents, just like me. She's an excellent professional in the field of public health. She's the mother of a beautiful baby boy, just turned 4 months old, and she has a younger brother diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you.
Olivia will be answering our questions today and bringing us all the information about special needs trust. Okay. Maggie Aldana is an excellent special educator. She is also the chair of the CARD Constituency Board and is the mother of three children, two of whom are diagnosed with autism. Welcome, Maggie.
Thank you, Lourdes.
Ima Camposano is completing her master's in social work and has chosen to do her internship here at CARD, as she is committed to serving all those with autism in our community, as well as their families and those who serve them. Ima is a mother of two and has a physical disability, so she brings a very important perspective to our program. Welcome, Ima.
Thank you.
But before we get started, let's review the rules that we want to adhere to while we're in the air. So that way we can maintain a safe environment for all of us. Be sure to maintain an open mind, keep a positive attitude, and use respectful language. Bueno, before we get started, Jasmine, would you say good morning to our audience?
Yes, let's say good morning to Amy, Emily. Yes.
Good morning.
And good morning. All righty. As I already mentioned, today's program, we are going to be talking about special needs trust. What is it and why is it important in helping us to protect the financial benefits of our loved ones with disabilities? So join us, okay? This is the first of two episodes that we will be bringing you on this topic. The second part will be held on October 8th at this time spot. So be sure to join us. We will be interviewing a lawyer from the program Family Network on Disabilities, and she'll be going to be answering our questions. So be sure to leave us your questions, which we will be utilizing to ask her questions. Okay. So even if you're watching this show after we go off the air, be sure to leave your questions in the comment section so we can use them on that show. And for sure, be sure to meet us here on October 8th. Okay, Olivia is going to be answering us. So let's get started.
Yes, Olivia, if you could please let us know what is a special needs trust?
So, a special needs trust is a trust that holds money and other assets for an individual with special needs in such a way that it protects their eligibility for need-based public benefits. So, for example, programs like Medicaid or Social Security income. A private or professional trustee manages the trust and uses it to pay for products and services that are needed to maintain or increase the individual with special needs' quality of life. But these are the products, these are products and services that can't be covered by public programs. There are different types of special needs trusts. So depending on the individual with special needs and their family's assets, different trusts could be used in combination or with other estate planning tools like wills.
Thank you, Olivia. And why should parents set up a special needs trust?
So some families might feel like there's no way my child will ever have more than $2,200. And so, their benefits are not at risk. However, it takes just one car accident. So if the individual with autism is in a car accident, that personal injury settlement could be enough to jeopardize their services. A great aunt who decides, very well intentioned, but, decides to leave some money without telling the parents, it could be another scenario where that puts their services at risk. However, if the individual with autism has a special needs trust, the money could go there. And some individuals with autism have an ABLE account and think that that is sufficient. But there is a $15,000 a year maximum for total contributions. So it might not be enough in all situations.
Really good information, Olivia. Thank you. Can you tell us what are the requirements for setting up a special needs trust?
So depending on which type of special needs trust, there might be an age limit for the beneficiary of the trust. So for example, with a first party special needs trust, it's also sometimes known as a self-funded trust, the individual cannot be older than 65 years old. I also found these recommended requirements when setting up a Florida special needs trust. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can share. And we ran into this problem with the Spanish version of the show. So I'll just do this so you guys can see. But basically, this is from, this is from the Gibbs Law office. But basically, they outlined that the trust should be designed as a special needs trust pursuant to this statute, and that it is for a disabled person under age 65. That the intent of the trust maker is to allow eligibility for ongoing public assistance. So again, for SSI or Medicaid. And that the intent is to supplement and not to supplant public benefits. The distributions may be made in the trustee's sole discretion for maintaining the quality of the beneficiary's health, education, safety, and welfare when they are not being provided by ongoing public assistance, and that the trustee will repay all state Medicaid bills upon termination of the trust, provided they may pay other estate expenses first. So again, and this will kind of vary based on the specific special needs trust, but that's kind of like the general language that should probably be included.
You know what I liked, Olivia, that you mentioned that, for a lot of people, they're like, oh, my child will never, or my adult son or daughter will never have this amount of money. And like you mentioned, it could be winning the lotto, right? Anyway, we're all hopeful for that. It could be a gift and something like that. Sometimes, like you said, an aunt, an uncle, a grandparent who may have left them something in their will. to ensure that the adult with autism or the child with autism or with a disability has funding that they may need in their adult life. So, if you're lucky to have somebody to leave you money, you want to know what to do with that money and what not to do, so that your adult son or daughter with autism doesn't lose the benefits of the state, which are so needed for independent life. So this is why we're bringing this program to the air. And again, if you have more questions, be sure to leave it at the bottom so we can ask the lawyer from F&D who's going to be joining us on October 8th, so that she is able to answer any other questions that you may have. So thank you for bringing us this information, Olivia.
And Olivia, how can money from a special needs trust be used?
So a trust's funds can be used cannot be used to supplant or duplicate what Medicaid would pay for, so, i.e. basic food and shelter. So this means you cannot use money to pay for food, the mortgage, including property insurance, property taxes, rent, heating, gas, electricity, water, sewer, or garbage removal. You can use the funds for other things that would improve the individual's quality of life. So like medical insurance, a computer, a professional, companion, housekeeping, or paying for a professional trustee. So basically, what's not, the basic things that are not covered by Medicaid, that's kind of what the funds could be used for.
And it's so important because, like you said, independent life, like a companion, and there are some services that do pay for some companionship. So you have to really check on that and see if there's anything left over that they wouldn't. So again, we're trying to give people the awareness that sometimes, that this exists, and it's possible. You can with guidance and with information, you're able to assess what is possible and what is not possible, so that the monies are used correctly, right? So this is very important.
And something I wanted to add into is, sometimes we don't consider the impact of like life insurance. If one of the parents had life insurance policies that pay out, how would that impact the benefits that someone is receiving? So these are discussions that you want to have, before a situation arises, and be prepared for that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that point, Maggie. That's one of my questions for the lawyer on the 8th.
And that's fantastic. We're gonna get an answer from an attorney on October 8th. So that's excellent. And that's why we're bringing this to everyone. I had a question, Olivia. What is the responsibility of a trustee?
So the trustee needs to distribute the trust's funds for current and future needs, invest the trust's funds in property, do the accounting, communicate with the trust's beneficiary and those who are helping to support him or her, tax reporting, making sure that the beneficiary maintains their eligibility for benefits, and also possibly reporting to the programs providing those benefits. Again, if the trust's funds are spent incorrectly, it could risk the beneficiary's eligibility. And so for that reason, it's often recommended that a professional trustee be appointed to manage the trust, or to be a co-trustee with a family member. Again, it has to be a trusted family member. Be careful when you are doing all of this, but that's also another option if just having a professional doesn't sit well with people.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Yes. So let me see if I can share again. I just wanted to share the resources, some links that if people are wanting more information, more details on what we covered today, they can find it at those links, and I'll go ahead and make sure that that's also shared in the comment section on Facebook.
Okay, perfect. So again, it's very important that if you're watching this show after we go off the air, you leave us your questions, your comments. We monitor the chat, so we're able to answer you even after we go off the air. And also, we are collecting the questions that you have, so that we can bring in to the attorney we're going to be interviewing on October 8th. So if you have questions, please be sure to leave them down there so that we can ask her. Okay. So thank you so much for that. All righty. So are there any questions or comments at this time, or maybe some memes? I'm collecting memes. Help me out here.
No, there's no questions in the comment section from anyone. I already posted the resources, and I also posted the recommended requirements to set up a special needs trust here in Florida.
Thank you.
So they are already in the comment section.
Perfect. That is wonderful. All righty. So a special thanks. We like to give a special thanks to Olivia for bringing us such important information. And
Thank you, Olivia.
This is such a great need, and keeping us alert of the potholes ahead, right? So so we don't fall into those potholes and make mistakes just because we're lacking information. So I really thank you for bringing that. I'm sure our audience appreciates that as well.
Yeah. I did also want to add, I know that it's, I in preparing for this show, I also talked to my parents about this because they set up a special needs trust for my brother. And they say, it's not necessarily like a pleasant thing to think about. It's kind of like how we talked about last week with guardian advocacy. It's not a pleasant situation necessarily to think about. But it was a lot, once they actually did it, it was a lot simpler than they originally thought. And they were actually able to get like a bunch of things all set up at once. And so please don't be intimidated by this.
That's a great point, and it's, again, you're buying peace of mind, basically what it is, because we are not always going to be here. And it's better. I always tell my children, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So again, it's a reason why we pick, pay for insurance, right? It's just peace of mind. I see we have a comment.
Yeah, we got Ellie that she hasn't been able to figure out how to post her meme, and she has.
Me neither. But if you go into the gift section, maybe.
Yeah, I tried, but it didn't work. So I just posted a sticker.
Yeah. So there's in the Facebook, there's some sections of you're able to find gift. The first time I tried it, it wasn't giving me very much about coffee. So it allows you to do some things like that. I wasn't able to do it this morning, so I don't know if there's anything that. But if that's the case, I'm not gonna get my memes. I like my memes. Oh my God.
I don't understand.
Anyway, if you can post it, if you know how to do it, do it. You're gonna make me smile.
And let us know if you can make it happen and you know how to and it works. Let us know how.
Let us know too. Yes, you're gonna make me happy. I'm gonna be like, I got my gifts. I got my memes. Anyway, all righty. So that brings us to the end of the show. But before we go, I want to ask you for a little favor, please. And that is that please go into the link that we're going to be posting at the bottom in the comment section, so you can evaluate how we're doing. Let us know if this type of information is important to you and how we're doing. Even if you've done it in the past, we need a new review every time. This is the way we can justify the time that it takes us to prepare this kind of programming for you and to be here in the air for you. So please, thank you from the bottom of our heart for taking the time to do that, right? Let's make sure that we keep us on the air, right? Anyway, so before we go, I'd like to tell you that please remember to give us a like, share this video on your page and with anyone that you know could benefit from this type of information. Make sure that you meet us here every Friday around 10:40-ish there. It all depends how soon or how late we come out of the previous show in Spanish, La Hora del Cafecito. If you have people or friends that you know only speak Spanish or that are bilingual, we also meet at 10 o'clock here on the Spanish side in La Hora del Cafecito. So be sure that you share that information, but be sure to be here at 10:40-ish, hearing us spill the beans. You see that? You see what I did there? You see that? Anyway, about about topics of information that are very important to the field of disabilities and autism, but most importantly to you. So until then, we wish you good vibes,
Good vibes and
good
hot
coffee.
Coffee.
See you next week. Bye bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye, guys.